Hey everyone, it's Moonkin FTW here, back with another video, and allow me to introduce to you my latest project, which is called Apex. Now, Apex is a Giovanola racing coaster, and Giovanola is probably a coaster manufacturer that not many people know, and that's because they built very little, and they fortunately went bankrupt. But fun fact, Giovanola created Goliath and Titan in Six Flags in America. And these were two pretty memorable hyper coasters when they came out. And two of the people that were working for that company ended up creating Bolliger and Mabillard. So those two people were originally working for Giovanola, and Giovanola went bankrupt, and then B&M bought them, which is also why the track type, or the track layout basically, is the same as a B&M. So what makes this a Giovanola? Well, like I said, it has similar style in terms of track, but it uses these trains. These are typical Giovanola trains that you'll see on a Titan and Goliath and Six Flags. So yeah, that's a bit of a quick introduction. I'll go over pretty much everything I've made, because I just didn't make a roller coaster. I also made a lot of things around it to kind of fill up the area, make sure it's not just a roller coaster and that's it. So yeah, let's go through it. So in terms of design, it's not super complicated, but it is. It took me quite a while to figure this out, because because this is a racing coaster, I really wanted to make sure that the trains kind of follow are right next to each other, so we can follow this around here. They make two overbank turns, and then you have these two kind of airtime hills, and then they have this kind of overbank turn again into a quick transition to the other side, into another overbank turn, into this fast 90-degree bank turn, and then into a few airtime hills with a lot of speed. Then they kind of have this bank turn to the right here, and then a quick turn to the left, and a final little airtime hill into the final brake run. So yeah, it took a lot of time tweaking this to make sure that pretty much most of the time these roller coasters are side by side and they kind of finish at the same time. So that took a lot of tweaking, and because this is also two coasters instead of one, of course the supports took me a good amount of time as well, because I have to make, of course, supports for two. So I really like the way it turned out, and of course in just a bit I'll show you guys the POV. But I just want to kind of start at the beginning of the park, because I made a lot around this park and I'm really proud of what I made. So let's get started. So as you enter the park, this is kind of the central gathering area. You have a nice little fountain here. Or not little, it's quite big actually. And it's accompanied by Shy Guys planters. I really like this add-on. It allows you to make these curved flower beds, and it actually looks really good if you ask me. Of course, right next to it we have the merry-go-round, which is kind of like yeah, a requirement for every single amusement park. You just gotta have it. To the right we have a food court, and I really spent some more time than usual making these nice little food courts. I generally don't spend a lot of time on these, but I wanted to give it a go. And I think it looks quite decent. You have some stalls here, you have some benches here, some grass, some foliage, and you also have an information kiosk and an umbrella stand. And actually behind the food court, this is a nice little detail, I made some benches. So imagine if you buy some chicken and a drink, and then you sit here, and then you can watch, look at that perfect timing, you can watch the coaster. So that's pretty cool. So over here, if we go to the right, I have another flat ride, a chair swing, and also a junior coaster, which, I spent some time on. It has custom supports, it has a catwalk, it has some flower beds again, because again, I wanted to make sure that this coaster was kind of surrounded in a park, rather than it just be the roller coaster and that's it, nothing around it. I think that's a little, I've done it before, but I really just like the look of this a lot better. So if we follow this path, and as you can see, it's all accompanied by benches and litter bins and trees and everything. We have this little park right here, again made with Shy Guys planters to make these like really cool kind of gardens, if you will. You'll see that we have another coaster here that I've built to kind of fill up the dead space, which is this mine train coaster, and I really like the way this turned out. So this, again, I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but I did spend a decent amount. So you go up this lift hill. Actually, let's just see if we can follow this along. Let me just speed up this stuff right here. Let's see if we can follow this one. It's actually kind of cool, because I like the way this is designed. So yeah, there we go. So it goes through this kind of little house here, like in first drop, and then into the chain lift. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to make the catwalk, but I can do that later. So it goes up this lift hill. It's not super big, but yeah. Here we go into the first drop, into this tunnel, and then into this airtime hill. And here you have this really cool turnaround element with a bunch of rocks and some like Western style foliage, if you will, like a cactus and everything, into another airtime hill, into this kind of, yeah, quick transition and into a helix. And again, you know, in between this area, you got some rocks, you got a windmill, some barrels, TNT, mining equipment and everything. And of course, like a Western style station. So I really like this extra addition to this park to, again, accompany the ride with some extra stuff. So let's focus on the outer circle. So again, I thought this was really cool too, where the guests can kind of walk underneath this these first two overbank turns. So imagine if you're walking here and you look up, you see this coaster, so it's really cool. We have a double sky wheel. And we also have these flying turns, again, because this goes really well with this type of ride. I just made some Western theming, again, some rocks, some cacti, and of course a small kind of Western style station. And of course, here we end up in the general area again with this fountain. So let's focus on the middle, kind of like the centerpiece that's in between the roller coasters. You have, again, a small food court right here. So you're able to get some drinks, get a snack, and then, again, it's accompanied by some greenery, some flowers. And here, again, I made sure to have an area where the guests can sit. And here they can actually watch the coasters launch the same way that you would kind of sit and watch the coaster if you would be at Top Thrill Dragster, which is now Top Thrill 2. We got a small spiral slide, which kind of fits nicely here, and a giant slide right here. So again, next to the roller coaster, kind of really fill up this area. So yeah, that's mostly it. Again, I'm really proud of the design. The coaster itself isn't super crazy. The design isn't super intricate, but the challenge was really into making this smooth, making sure that these two kind of line up properly to where it's really a racing coaster. Like there's not a lot of distance between them. And then of course, you know, making all the details, you know, all the pathing, all the flat rides, all the, you know, the rest of the roller coasters and all the theming around it to make sure it's just one nice little, yeah, park, if you will. So I'm really happy about the way this turned out. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause the game real quick. And I'm just going to close these so we don't have the guests in our faces when we're riding this. I'm going to also maybe just lower the volume just a little bit right here. I'm not sure if that's really loud, but let's see. And we're just going to start. And of course, because this is a dual coaster, a racing coaster, we're going to do both. Let's start with the blue one first. So yeah, without further ado, here is Apex, the blue coaster, the blue train. Here we go. I'm going to start off with a launch here into a large overbank turn. As we see the coaster right next to us. Goes for the first one. We're going to take the airtime hill right now. Overbank to the right. Switch back to the overbank to the left. Into our fast 90-degree bank turn. Here come the airtime hills as we go over the path and then into our bank turn and a few final turns, a small airtime hill, and into the brake run. And there you go. That is number one. Now these should be synced up, so let me see. Just to be sure, now that they're synced up, I know this. So let's go ahead and write the red one next. There we go. So now we're on the other side. We're gonna see what this one looks like. So get ready. Here we go. Again, the launch right next to that spiral slide. Into the smaller overbank turn. Into the big airtime hill. As we go through the overbank turn to the right, switch back to the overbank turn on the left. And we can see the blue train right next to us. We have our first airtime hill. We can see the blue coaster again, so you can see, like, you know, side by side, neck and neck racing. It's really cool. Into the bank turn, into a quick bank turn to the left, small airtime hill, into the final brake run. And again, you can see the train is right there. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's That's Apex. Now I know that this, in terms of foliage, like really super detailed foliage, I didn't do much. And that's because I thought, the main centerpiece would just be this kind of crazy racing coaster with these very specific type of trains. And I really like the way this turned out. Actually, let me just get a cool final free look shot as we close up this video. So let me just go ahead and get in a little bit closer. I don't know what a good shot is. I think over here that should be nice. I don't know, something like this. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, that's my latest design. I really hope you guys like this. It's not as crazy or as intricate as, let's say, if I would use the Blue Fire coaster or the extended looping coaster or something like that. But I just really like the way this turned out, and I hope you guys like it as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for watching my latest creation. I'll be back pretty soon with another one. I have some pretty crazy ideas lined up. And yeah, as always, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. And have yourself a wonderful day.